Hi everybody, welcome back to City Skylines. It's not Sipsco Coast though. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We've been hard at work on the live stream every single day, pretty much. Well, every weekday at least. Working on this. We've been working on Jazzland. Which has, well, probably surpassed Sipsco Coast now in terms of time and effort put into it. Certainly population. And we got a whole bunch of stuff that we built. So I thought today, instead of continuing on with Sipsco Coast, we can do that next week. I thought today, for a change, let's have a tour of Jazzland. And of course, no tour of Jazzland is complete without some nice jazz playing in the background to get us in the mood to really take in the sights and savor the moments of Jazzland while we're looking around Jazzland. Great. All right. So like I was saying, this is a streaming only city. So I've been live streaming quite a bit recently. I've been having a really good time with the people in the live stream, sort of coming up with ideas for the city and everything. Where did we start? It all started here. This was our first district. So this is Tromboner Town. This is just a suburb. Look, it's all very light residential. It snakes around. It twirls and curves around everywhere. There's a boat just sort of trying to park in the parking lot there, which is a bit okay. So we've got these 4-lane roads surrounding the suburb, and then the suburb is sort of broken off into its own district. So we've got Tromboner Town, which we started with. Got a couple little graveyards. We got like a nice high school down here, as you can see, with some palm trees all around it. There's some nice trees and stuff. It looks a little bit sparse. It's what we started with. So there's like lots of little gaps that could be filled up with trees, which is obviously my favorite thing to do. There's like some gaps over here that could do with being filled up and everything as well. But it's quite nice, isn't it? Look, it's just like this peaceful little suburb. There's not too much traffic. There's the odd sort of car making its way, winding its way through the streets of Tromboner Town. You'll notice that most of our district names are jazz themed as well, and that we stipulated that while we were making this on the stream. There's a couple of bus routes, district bus routes that come around Tromboner Town to pick people up, to take them to the second area that we created, as I zoom over, which is this like commercial, it's a commercial district over here. See, we've got a mall, we've got some nice big parking lots that are barely being used at all, actually. I don't even think that many people bother to come to this mall. But this is all hooked up by metro line and buses as well, similar to how we have it in Sipsco Coast. See, there's a lot of people here waiting for the bus. Not going to the mall, just waiting here for the bus. It seems to be a popular stop. There's a nice pedestrian bridge, which is being used by a lot of people there as well, which is nice. You get all of this commercial stuff. We've got like the tax office here as well, and a little train station, a commuter train station for people to get to and from the downtown area, which we'll look at after, which is actually over here. See, look, the Space Needle just sort of rising prominently in the distance there. It's quite nice. Excellent. There's more commercial back here, and then there's a little cargo train yard that we built, well, just yesterday actually. We built it. This is pretty recent. So this train line is actually an internal line. It doesn't connect up to the main line. So the only train that actually operates on this line is a cargo line straight from an industrial area over here, in an attempt to reduce industrial traffic coming down the highways and stuff. So the idea is that a lot of people load their goods up at the train station over here, follows the line down, it comes very close to this other main line, but then comes over here, through here, and then all the deliveries are made from here to the commercial district. And we're going to hook up the other commercial districts the same way as well. All right, so we have, I think this is called like Yakety Sax Junction. The name keeps disappearing for some reason. No, sorry, it's not Yakety Sax Junction. It's Jive Turkey Junction, of course. So this makes up the southern suburb of Tromboner Town and features our nice little ferry terminal. As we saw before, a ferry just decided to sort of park itself in the parking lot. But generally, they do actually land at the dock here. People get off, they can get onto the bus straight away. I think there's a metro station down here somewhere as well. that people can get onto the metro line and get around the city. So again, a little sleepy suburb. We've got this more sort of built up area here. These have like high-rise apartments and stuff. Some dense population here, but they're right close to the shopping district, and they can get back onto these main roads up to the highway if they want to as well, if they need to get to work. And of course there's mass transit as well. So generally people are heading over here to work, and increasingly over here as well, which we'll look at after. Great. We also have the vape zone, the only zone in all of Jazzland where you are able to have a vape legally. Everywhere else it's strictly forbidden. But you can come down to this stretch of beach here, which is quite nice actually. There's like a little information kiosk here detailing the highs and lows of vaping as well. And you can just get your vape on in a major way. And everybody seems to enjoy it. I mean, I say everybody. There's literally nobody ever here. But it's a nice little area anyway. Great. We have Sax on the beach next, which is our sort of like coastal high wealth area. Most of these houses are like almost maxed out in terms of their upgrades and stuff. They're all really fancy and high tech. They've got like solar panels on the roof and everything. Lots of taxes accumulated from this area. It's like a sleepy little sort of seaside suburb where all the rich people reside. They can just come in here via bus. There's a little metro line further up in here in this like office area. We've got this sort of like office area just randomly in Tromboner Town West, which is an extension of Tromboner Town and features the only university in Jazzland. We've got this nice little university district here with a custom sign as well. Look at that, the University of Jazzland. No smoking. You are allowed to smoke weed if you want, but you're not allowed to smoke it because smoking is banned. And basically, in a roundabout way, the bureaucracy is set up so that you have to go to the vaping zone if you want to do some vaping. So all of this cancels out each other. You're allowed to smoke weed, but you're not allowed to smoke at all, and you're allowed to vape in the vape zone. So in a roundabout way, it sort of works. Excellent. But you got all these like sort of young adults coming here, going to university. It's all connected up by mass transit as well, which is fantastic. And then to the north, we have Butt Sax Heights. I have no idea what butt sax has to do with jazz. I guess the sax portion of the butt sax is sort of steeped in jazz. The rest of it, maybe not so much. But basically, what we tried to do here before it became actually quite a nice neighborhood with a soccer field, parks, and a crematorium, and all sorts of other weird and outlandish shit. It was meant to be a big slum because we actually had a worker shortage for our industry at one time. And we tried to just pack as many sort of unemployed or uneducated people in here as we could to try to save that. And it didn't quite work because as soon as we set this area up, all of these people immediately started becoming educated thanks to like the university and the high schools and everything around. And then it just became a nice little neighborhood. And then we extended it out this way as well. And we gave them our own roundabout with a commemorative Carl Kennedy face in the middle. If you're familiar with the hit TV show Neighbors, you'll know who Carl Kennedy is because he's literally been in it for like 35 years now. And we tried to make his face inside this roundabout as best we could. I mean, the people down on the ground will never see that. You have to be in a helicopter to really appreciate it. It's got nice parks, it's got a little cemetery. It's just a nice little neighborhood. It still needs a little bit of work too. We still have some little gaps to fill in with trees and stuff just to make it look nice. We've got a dingle-donger similar to the one that we have in Sipsco Coast here, and this sort of directs all the traffic into, well, Tromboner Town West and more or less Butt Sax Heights. We've got another entrance over here off of Cloverleaf. You can see the train majestically making its way over the top. So we got two entrances into like these major suburbs, but the traffic isn't too bad, and we're sort of working on trying to alleviate it more with these like commercial, industrial cargo links and stuff like that. So we got the highway sort of splitting off. This is like a super dingle-donger, really, when you think about it, because it's got these highways going up and these other ramps here. These ramps go up to what is basically sort of like a service area. We've got a lot of solar power. We've actually named this Romantic Industrial Shithole because at one point we had lots of romantic walks available along the coast here before we added these here. And it sort of ruined the romantic aspect of the area. But still, people like to refer to it as romantic industrial shithole. So that's what we've kept it named. It's got a little bit of industrial. It's got a whole bunch of incinerators. It's got a whole bunch of solar power generators. It's got a little cargo freight yard as well with all these like custom assets that I've been downloading. Most notably is this one, which actually attracts tourists to it every day. Look at all these tourists enjoying just staring at containers in the middle of a lot. We can come back to this after because I'm going to show off a mod as well, which I tried yesterday, which is fantastic. And we can actually come back here and join these people with it. Excellent. So, romantic shithole connects up to another little dingle-donger here so that the industrial traffic can get to where it needs to go. Can go up this way, can go back down this way. We sort of just set up another industrial area here. This connects to the main line. This cargo terminal connects to the sort of local line for the cargo and freight. So the idea is that from the outside world, trains can come here, make their deliveries, and then they can get right onto the local line across the street if they need to. And of course, traffic just comes down here and gets into either one of these if it needs to as well. So we're trying to really get a lot of our industry into this area, which we haven't even named yet. Just over the way from this new industrial area, this is all stuff, we just started making this stuff, so we haven't really had a chance to really beautify it or anything. I mean, it's gotta be said, this doesn't need any beautification. It's already perfect. This is the oddly satisfying interchange, which is modeled after a real-life interchange that exists in Florida, in the United States of America. On stream, I actually copied it from Google Maps as best I could, recreated it in-game. It's not all hooked up yet because we don't have these squares or whatever, but it's here and it's ready to go basically when these regions do unlock and we start building some more stuff over here. And it is oddly satisfying, isn't it? Just watching traffic sort of flow in and out of these little ramps and get onto every stretch of highway that they could ever imagine. Fantastic. Down the road from oddly satisfying is another mega dingle-donger, which sort of connects up Saxy Time, which was historically sort of our downtown area, and we were really going to go ham with this downtown area until we sort of decided to move it over here. This is like another downtown area, which we'll go look at after. So Saxy Time features some dense commercial, some dense residential, lots of offices in like a really cool little roundy design that isn't actually symmetrical at all. And then, of course, the figurehead of Saxy Time is this face that you can't quite see as a face if you're at street level. But we got a roundabout and we got this pedestrian walkway that comes in and around it as well. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice little area here too. We got a high school, we got a fire department, police department, an elementary school, a bus stop, a metro station. So it all sort of happens down here right at the coast, which is a nice place for it to happen. Look, there's literally a million people waiting for the bus here. They all seem quite happy. That guy's skateboarding through all of them right now, which is quite nice as well. We downloaded a couple of assets. We got the Space Needle, which is found in Seattle. We've moved it to Jazzland. It is now a prominent feature of Saxy Time. You can get off the train here. You can take these nice pedestrian walkways through like this forest and stuff. You can come visit the Space Needle. You can get to this modern art museum, which we renamed the Jam because it's all jazz related or whatever. Nice little path to the front and stuff as well. And also we have this big transportation building with a parking lot that nobody uses and a bunch of bagel stores across the street and stuff. It's actually a quite nice little area of town, and it's going to expand out this way and that way as well, and probably just about everywhere when we get around to it. Great. Okay. I guess that leaves only one more, well, maybe technically two more places. We have Lewinsky's Flute. Before we start delving into Little Glasgow, Lewinsky's Flute is this area between the tracks and the highway here, which is kind of like almost like flute-shaped or maybe trumpet-shaped or whatever. This is a man wearing a diaper made with Rhodes, which I probably should have deleted before I started doing this tour of Jazztown because we were just messing around with that. But basically, Lewinsky's Flute is just another little sleepy suburb that's sort of nestled in between the highway and the train tracks here, and in between the really big built-up area of Little Glasgow. which was originally all industry. This used to be the industrial heart of Jazzland until we ripped it all out. We kept the road infrastructure. There was heavy protest. Look, there was a sign and everything just to prove to you. Save Little Glasgow. Welcome to Little Glasgow. Little Glasgow is sort of potato-shaped, and there was a great big revolution taking place in the Twitch chat to say, save Little Glasgow, don't burn it down. I was all for burning it down. I wanted to start from scratch. But it's got like a bit of a dingle-donger here. It's got this one-way road system that goes around as well. And actually, the whole shape of it and the way that the roads connect up to it and everything, I find it's quite nice to look at, actually. It's not very efficient traffic-wise. There are quite a few jams occurring down here that we have to sort out at some point. But for now, it works. We have a train station that delivers people to a sports stadium, where, of course, Mr. John Bon Jovi himself plays jazz every single day and night for the people of Jazzland, which is excellent. There's quite a few people always coming out of the train station here and going up using these pedestrian paths, getting over the road and everything. It's quite a nice little area, actually. This is all commercial here, which we're going to hook up with some trains eventually as well. Lots of offices and stuff over here, and a bit of dense residential as well. So the idea is that it's sort of like sort of spider webs out and then becomes less dense the further it moves towards the suburbs, and then in the center it's going to be very dense. We might need to actually get some more assets, like some more skyscrapers or whatever, just to get into the middle to really hammer that point home. Great. All right, well, that's the overview of Jazzland. If you feel like you want to see Jazzland developing further, I'm streaming pretty much every day, pretty much every afternoon my time, on weekdays, so come and join us. It's good fun. It's pretty chill. We just hang out and chat about stuff and build this city. It's pretty good. We'll probably move on to other games later on, but for now we're having fun making Jazzland, and it's nice to see it develop and turn into something really nice. It'll be great once it's all filled up too, but for now it's quite big. I mean, the population is 43,000 currently right now, making quite a bit of money. We've got quite a bit of money in the bank as well, which is fantastic. We never need to really worry about things going wrong or whatever. Before we wrap up, let's check out this mod. I've downloaded the first person mod, which for this game is excellent. It's not built into the game itself, I don't think, so you have to download this mod from the Steam Workshop, but it's pretty cool. You can get down and dirty on the street if you want to, using this menu, this FPS camera. So we want to make sure that we're snapping to the ground so that we can get the true representation of what we're looking at from the ground. And actually, let's go back to the romantic industrial shithole and we'll admire that freight yard that everybody else seemed to be having a good time at. Take a walk around the street and then maybe hitch a ride on the train and get into Little Glasgow or something like that. Great. Alright, so we're going to go into first person mode by hitting tab, and that snapped us directly onto the ground, and actually it snapped us right down onto the train tracks. So we're now simulating being on a train track and watching the trains come back and forth. We can walk over here to the romantic industrial shithole. Look, we've got these nice big solar generators which we can take a look at from a different angle, which is quite nice. We're going to get into the area that we want to be in, which is close to here. Look at all of these containers and stuff. All of the tourists are heading this way. We'll get onto the sidewalk. Look at all the industrial trucks and everything are coming by. Got people going about their business. But the real crowd pleaser is here for some reason. Everybody seems to really be enjoying this area for some reason. Look, there's a guy skateboarding. There's a whole bunch of people checking their briefcases and wallets and stuff. That guy's doing a kickflip back there. There's a kid playing with his toy. There's seagulls literally everywhere. And for some reason, this constitutes a great day out in Jazzland. So, if you're looking for a tourist attraction or something to do in your real life, might I suggest one time finding a self-storage container yard and just standing around idly in it with a bunch of other people and waiting for something to happen. Look, this guy's even got a Bluetooth set thing, earpiece thing, and he's got two clones behind him doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. Checking his phone, thinking about stuff, doing a little like pirouette or whatever. Fantastic stuff. So it's just as easy as that, basically. You hit tab to come back out of it, and it takes you back to where you were. And then you hit tab to go back into it, and it takes you down to street level. If we want to go somewhere like a little bit different, we can go down here, which is what we were looking at before with the sports stadium. And we can get sort of close to it, I guess. Are we? Yeah. Oh, look at that. We're like right across the street. Look, there's clouds in the sky. You can see all the seagulls. The traffic is roaring by. We can get into here and check out just how crampy the parking lots look because it's built like on a cliff or whatever. Great view of the stadium from back here too. We can go over to the bus station. Look, Cities Railways. You can see all these people just like coming out of the train station, making their way the back. We can watch people getting off the train and on the train as well. People gonna get off? Nope. Oh, they're gonna get off this side though. Check this out. It's gonna run over a bunch of people too. There we go. Look at that. The train has loaded and unloaded and now it's taking off again. It's pretty nice. You can also sort of jump into a car and follow that around if you want. So if I just tab, come out again. I think trains are the best, actually. We want to get a train that's on its way into Little Glasgow, ideally, I think. Wait, is that one? That one's trying to turn in. Okay, we'll get one that's like coming in from out here somewhere. I think this is a local one, so that's not going to go into Little Glasgow. That's going to go into here. So if we just wait a second... we should see like a passenger train making its way in from here somewhere. I think that's one. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so if I pause it and I click on it, you get this little camera icon. So I can click on this, and now we're inside the train. And it's like Train Simulator. Okay, we're not going into Little Glasgow. It looks like we're going to go into Saxy time instead. But you get the idea. Look at that. You can see like all the nice sights and the horizon in the distance. There's like a big-ass building, the Space Needle and everything. And then you have this like nice, whoa, we got another oncoming train that just passed us. And we get this nice sort of view of the city that you would never have seen before. You can get onto all of your mass transit. You can follow trucks down the highways and stuff as well. Get an idea of how everything looks from that angle. It's a bit of an eye-opener, actually, because I tend to just look at everything from up here, and if it looks good from up here, I'm pretty happy. But sometimes when you get down to street level, you realize that things are, like, uneven, or maybe some of the ramps are, like, complete, like, stunt jumps and stuff like that. And maybe it'll just, like, sort of prompt you to say, hang on a second, I need to fix that, or make it look better. Or actually, I'm just going to spend a lot of time beautifying things from a street level view, instead of from this very far away bird's eye view. Excellent. Well, there we go. Something a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it wasn't too boring. Like I said, we've been working pretty hard on this, and I think everybody's pretty pleased with what we've managed to accomplish. We don't have really any major sort of traffic jams, and any little jams that we have, we're able to deal with quite quickly. It's all coming together. We're expanding. It's pretty slow progress, but it's nice because, like I said, we just chill out, have a bit of a chat or whatever, place lots of trees, come up with ideas for districts and stuff like that, and it's pretty good fun. We also do a lot of web browsing as well, looking at like all sorts of weird and wacky interchanges around the world and stuff, but it has been very good. So there you go, the grand tour of Jazztown as it is. If you like this, and you like this sort of different format, which is just more of an overview or whatever, let me know. Leave me a comment or whatever. I can do another one of these later on when we've built more, maybe like in a month or something, when, you know, some of these areas are all filled up, and just to see how it's coming along or whatever. Or if this was just boring as shit, let me know as well, and I can just do some other stuff. Either way is fine by me. Excellent. All right, well, as usual, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.